This is a safety wall mount for a compressed gas cylinder. I received this product to review for free from the Amazon Vine Voice program. They have not paid me for my review, and they have no editorial control over what I say. So, in the package, you get a very sturdy bent steel bracket that's kind of curved for a cylinder. You have this nylon strap with a little locking clip thing, and you have some extremely heavy-duty concrete masonry type mounting bolts. These guys are massive, and you're going to need a masonry drill bit that would fit this size here of this round tube to install these guys. So essentially you put this tube in the wall with this guy in here. As it pulls it in, it pushes it out and really grabs onto the wall. So with the hardware they're giving you, this is designed to be mounted into a masonry wall. Now if you have a wall that is wood, you could use some type of wood screws, but these are pretty big openings here, so you're going to need some washers to hold that on there. So it includes no instructions, but I'm just going to make an assumption here that this goes through there, this guy goes through there. You strap your gas cylinder to this guy, and this here keeps it from falling over. So out of these three items, I think that the nylon strap here is your weak point. If you actually mount this into masonry with these bolts, that guy's never going anywhere. This is a pretty heavy-duty strap. I think over time it might age, so this is kind of a replaceable item after, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. But realistically, this should not be supporting the weight of a cylinder. It's really just keeping it from falling over. So, the strap looks perfectly adequate for that. But of these three items, the metal is massive and these bolts are massive. So, the strap is the weakest link out of all three items. Now I have this tiny little baby tank that I use when I'm taking my big tank to be refilled. And I could mount this bracket to the masonry, but I don't want to put in that much effort. So I'm just going to mount this bracket to this piece of wood on this little thing next to it and strap it to that, because realistically, like I said, this is a tiny little baby tank. Since this is going into wood, I'm just using a deck screw with a fender washer. So it's not into masonry with giant bolts, but that thing is plenty strong to keep that little tank from falling over. Alright, there's the final installation. Now if you're doing this industrially, I'm sure there's some rules about having this actually mounted to a masonry wall as opposed to, a heavy-duty bench top that could potentially move on its own. But for my tiny little tank here, I'm not too worried about that. I probably also have it just slightly higher up on the tank than you probably should. It probably should be closer to like this for a tank that size, but I'm limited by the height of this guy. And it's a lot better than before because now it has something holding it up, and before it didn't.